This is just a quick video. This isn't probably going to end up on the project. It's just explaining how I recreated the impacts. So you can see you've got the channel strip showing the MIDI notes. The MIDI notes is just when the impacts were, when there were moments of like punches and stuff. That's when I used it. What it was, it's a quick sampler with a wet slap, wet impact sound effect taken from YouTube, and then I put it into the sampler and took one of the slaps that I felt like was a pretty good slap, wet slap, and then ran it through a compressor. Not doing too much on that compressor, to be honest. It's only got a 3.7 ratio. I pretty much kept it all the same. I just wanted a bit more like punch, a bit more oomph. So I added, a vintage FET, which is, the FETs are great for kind of punchy compressor sounds. But the vintage is just a bit softer and it doesn't have that kind of instant like, it's a bit more mellow, which is nicer. It makes it less prominent, but it makes it sit better in the mix. And then what I did is I added the Chroma Glow, the saturator, for clarity. It was one of the clarity presets, and basically just to add a bit more warmth, a bit more fullness to it, without making it sound ridiculous and distorted. It doesn't sound distorted, it just sounds a bit more colourful. Yeah. And then what I did is I felt like it needed a bit of space. It sounded very dry. It sounded good, but it didn't match the sound of the clip, which is because it's recorded in like a cavern or something. It's in a very rocky, very echoey kind of place. It seemed the right idea to put a reverb on it. And the normal technique for reverb is putting it on a send, just purely so then I'm not affecting the original audio source. And then, so on that send, it was a channel EQ with a low cut filter at like, I don't know what hertz, 75 hertz, just to take that low end away from the reverb. Because then when you remove those subs and then you send it through a reverb, you don't have all that low end to muddy it up with, so it creates a much cleaner sounding reverb. And then just mixing that I put that very, very low, it was negative 17.2 on the mixer, on the fader. Just to have that little bit of air moving, but not to such a degree where it's noticeable. Like, it's just one of those things I want to be like, you can hear it, but you don't really think about it because it's there, and you're not really, but you'd notice it if it wasn't there after a while. And yeah, altogether, it sounds pretty cool. I think it's quite effective. I would like to have a bit more like modulation in the sounds, but to be honest, there's a point where it's just like, I don't really want to put that much effort into designing each individual impact because punches all sound the same in a sense.